Well, let's jump into the rock news. See what's going on here. Looks like Paul McCartney has written another book, and it's set to release, called Wings, the Story of a Band on the Run, which is described as a landmark account of the rocker's triumph and his musical reinvention in the 70s and the subsequent rise of one of the decade's most iconic bands. The book is called From Interviews with McCartney and Other Important Players in the Band, and it centers around Paul McCartney and Wings' 9 albums. McCartney saying, "I'm so very happy to be transported back to the time that was Wings and relive some of our madcap adventures through this book. Starting from scratch after the Beatles felt crazy at times," he said. "There were some very difficult moments, and I often questioned my decision. But as we got better, I thought, okay, this is really good." He added, it proved that Wings could be a really good band, to play to huge audiences in the same way the Beatles had, and have an impact in a different way. It was a huge buzz," he said. Now, the book, again, it's called Wings, the Story of a Band on the Run. It will be released on November the 4th. And if you've ever wanted to live next door to something related to Ozzy Osbourne, now's your chance. Black Sabbath fans could be among competitive bidders for a 3-bedroom terraced house in Birmingham, appearing in Bond Wolf's next auction. This one happens to be the house that's next door to the house where Ozzy Osbourne grew up. The rare lot is indeed in need of a modernization. So if you buy it, expect to spend some money. But it's going to have an attractive price, apparently. The house next door to Ozzy's childhood home will be among scores of properties appearing in Bond Wolf's next auction, which is due to start at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday, March the 27th. Billy Idol set to release his first full-length album and new music in over a decade. It's called Dream Into It. It will be dropping on the 25th of April on Dark Horse Records, George Harrison's label. In anticipation of the forthcoming record, Idol has already debuted the brand new single called Still Dancing, alongside a video for the project. Still Dancing is really a reflection of my whole journey, he said, from the punk rock period through now. And I'm still looking forward to the future, still living the life that I set out to live. Idol was recently nominated for the Rock Hall class of 2025. Fan voting is open through the 21st of April, with inductees to be announced at the end of April. And we've lost another rocker, a soft rocker. Robert John, the singer who hit number 1 in 1979 with his humongous hit Sad Eyes, has passed away. He was 79. The news was confirmed to Rolling Stone by John's son, Michael Pedrick, who said his dad died on Monday and was still recovering from a stroke that he had several years ago. Of course, John was best known for that song, Sad Eyes, which stopped the Knack's 6-week reign at number 1 with My Sharona. His career started in the late 50s, then continued with Bobby and the Consoles, which was a doo-wop group that he led in New York in the 60s. And he had only performed sporadically over the past few decades, and he lived in Las Vegas with his family there. He said, "I look at the charts and I see my name, but I still have trouble believing it's really me," he told Rolling Stone during his Sad Eyes chart run. "I didn't think the song would be the first single from the album. It's a ballad. And I thought the company was crazy to release it." The two sons, one from Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons of Kiss, Well, apparently they've been in the studio and they've recorded 10 songs together. Evan Stanley and Nick Simmons recently shared photos of themselves with recording equipment and the caption, "One song turned into 10 real quick." And their next post embedded online featured them performing an unnamed original song with guitarist Jacob Bunton. Evan's father, Paul, was quick to declare the clip magic, while Nick's sister, Sophie, chimed in, "We want the album." Just don't expect them to be putting on their father's famous makeup, turn into Kiss 2.0. People keep asking that constantly, and it's like, dude, you can look at like 1,000 interviews where my dad says it, Gene says it, I say it, Nick says it. It's like, no. The younger Stan Lee told Misplaced Straws last year during an interview, "That's my dad's thing. I'm busy with my thing. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for it. I love it. I'm a fan of the music. I'm a fan of the show. I've gotten to really have a unique and very wonderful life as a direct result of it. But do I want to put on the makeup and be Baby Paul? No. I've got my own thing going." But there is no word on when that release might happen. Daryl Hall's been busy, too, writing songs for more than 50 years, so it makes sense that he's got a stockpile. Quite a few ideas along the way. In fact, as he's detailed during an episode of his popular web series, Live from Daryl's House, he found a box of cassettes and demos in various song fragments going back to 1972. I don't know how you wrote, but any idea I've ever had, I put it on a cassette, he told Glenn Tilbrook of Squeeze, his guest. I found them all, hundreds and hundreds of them, everything, every idea I've had since 1972. And he's in the process of having all the audio transferred, but he hasn't had really a good chance yet to fully dig into the contents yet. Though in interesting ways, he's already finding new inspirations from those treasured analog sources. In the meantime, fans can enjoy his newest solo album. It's called D, as in the letter. His latest collaboration with his friend and former Eurythmic Dave Stewart. He's also getting set to head out on the road with Phil Brook for a run of U.S. dates in March and April. That will be followed by a special series of performances in the UK, including his first ever concert at Royal Albert Hall. And that's your update today. Find these classic rock news updates now on TikTok. We're also on YouTube. And, of course, the ClassX Radio Facebook page. And we've also put it up on X, Gab, and Truth Social. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow, as well as discover classic deep rock tracks, B-sides. You can do that right now at ClassXradio.com, and also on our TuneIn channel, and even our very own mobile app on your app store. ClassX Radio, we are rock and roll radio for baby boomers and Gen Xers. We'll see you next time.